Will be taking center stage today. Connecticut's 88th governor will be sworn in.
That's right. Democrat Dan Malloy replaces retiring Republican Jody Rell.
And we have live team coverage for you this morning of what will certainly be a memorable day, here in Hartford. Fox Connecticut's Anthony DiLorenzo has more on the change of political power, but we want to begin with Fox Connecticut's Tom Lewis, who's live in Hartford. Tom?
Logan, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. There are 2,600 seats here in the state armory that will be filled when Governor Dan Malloy officially becomes the leader of the state, the first Democratic governor since 1991. The swearing-in ceremony will happen at 2 o'clock right on the stage behind me here at the armory. The festivities begin with a parade that starts at the Soldiers and Sailors Arch. That's at 1 o'clock. The procession will go down Trinity, down Capitol Avenue, and wind up here. After he is sworn in, Governor Malloy will then step outside and greet the public. There will be a flyover, a 19-gun salute, and then it's down to the very hard work facing Dan Malloy. This state had some serious problems, mostly financial problems. That's something he'll have to tackle in office. For the first time in nearly a quarter century, a Democrat will be sworn in as governor of the state of Connecticut. When former Stamford Mayor Dan Malloy takes office at 2 this afternoon, he inherits some serious challenges. First and foremost is the state's troubling budget gap, a $3.5 million hole that has to be filled with either budget cuts or an increase in taxes or both. Business leaders say that the new governor will have to do a balancing act in order to spur businesses to stimulate the economy.
Let's say for a manufacturer right now, they don't pay any sales tax on machinery that they use in their process or materials that they buy that go into making their product. No other state taxes those things. So if all of a sudden you're going to start taxing those things, you're not going from 6% to, let's say, 3%. You're really going from 0 to 3%.
There is little doubt that Malloy will have to engineer some budget cuts, and in the crosshairs could be Connecticut's 2 historic river ferries. Representative Tony Guerrera says he will fight any proposal to landlock those Connecticut landmarks.
It's the oldest continuous ferry in the nation, not just Connecticut, but also we need to look at that this does provide a valuable service to a lot of commuters.
Malloy will also have to deal with the depleted rainy day fund and the absence of any federal stimulus money. That money is long gone. Governor-elect Malloy has been very direct, saying that it will be a shared sacrifice in order to weather the fiscal storm, a storm that is still swirling as he prepares to be sworn in. So now there are 7 hours until Governor-elect Dan Malloy becomes the governor, the 88th governor here in the state of Connecticut. As we mentioned, when he walks outside, they are going to have that 19-gun salute. We've been told by Lieutenant Colonel John Whitford of the Connecticut National Guard, this is going to be a very loud event, and he wants to warn people that are in the downtown area that it could set off some car alarms. It will be very noisy. It could be alarming to many who may not know what's going on. They will have helicopters flying above, so he wants people to be prepared for that. Certainly a festive occasion as Governor Rell leaves office, leaving with a widely popular following here in the state. She did come in after Governor Rowland, of course, left in disgrace, and she brought respect back to the office of the governor. Now Dan Malloy, the first Democrat since 1991, is soon to take the office. The swearing-in ceremony happens at 2 o'clock right here at the State Armory. Reporting live in Hartford, Tom Lewis, Fox Connecticut.
Thanks, Tom.
Meantime, 8 Democrats have already accepted appointments in the Malloy administration.
Fox Connecticut's Anthony DiLorenzo tells us what that means for getting things accomplished for lawmakers. Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning, guys. Well, as of this morning, 8 lawmakers are submitting their resignation. They've all agreed to take posts in Dan Malloy's administration, and one of those 9 is actually planning to plead guilty today to larceny charges on the same day that he was supposed to be sworn in to his 9th term as a state senator. Well, all these are longtime lawmakers here at the state capitol, and that is making things even more difficult and things to be accomplished in the General Assembly, namely as they try to battle a $3.5 million budget deficit. 9 state legislators will not be taking the oath of office this afternoon alongside their peers in the new General Assembly. Instead, 8 have accepted a promotion to be part of Dan Malloy's administration, and 1, Senator Thomas Gaffey, will plead guilty to larceny charges today. Republicans see the Democrats' exodus as an in, as the GOP tries to put more of its politicians in power.
Right now, the Democrats are in charge of everything, and our Republican candidates are going to offer an alternative in late February, and we're pretty confident that we're going to do well.
State GOP Chair Chris Healy says timing is in their favor. Malloy's budget is expected in mid-February, and voters will decide in March if change is already needed at the Capitol.
They're going to talk about spending cuts and reorganizing government. And I think the voters are going to find out very quickly about this state budget problem. And the answer is not raising taxes, but it's cutting state government.
Democrats are confident they'll remain in control in the House and Senate. Party Chair Nancy DiNardo told Fox Connecticut, quote, "As for the vacancies created, we have plenty of smart, committed, and ambitious Democrats in our state, and I'm not concerned about finding candidates to run for office." Each of these 9 vacancies will have to be filled during special elections that the towns will have to hold probably in March. It'll cost each town about $5,000 to $6,000 per election. If you want to see all of those men that are leaving office, just head to our website at ctnow.com. Reporting live from the Capitol this morning, I'm Anthony DiLorenzo, Fox Connecticut.
Thank you, Anthony.
Fox Connecticut and The Current are covering the inauguration events throughout the entire day. You can follow us online at ctnow.com, and we'll be broadcasting the governor swearing in live at 2 p.m. You can also follow us on Twitter, Fox CT.
Also this morning, after 20 years in office, it's the beginning of a new chapter for Richard Blumenthal.
That's right.